दो आदमी मारा है, ये कब्रिस्तान है। दिन 9 बजे गया है तो गुरु सुर बोले 2 आदमी धर के जिंदा मार दिया।
The burial ground of 16-year-old Hanif and his 18-year-old cousin Riazuddin. The overgrown bushes that screen the graves of these 2 young boys have become a metaphor for a tragedy that's been forgotten by the media and a murder that the government has ignored. In March this year, 16-year-old Hanif and his 18-year-old cousin Riazuddin had gone fishing at a pond near their village when a mob falsely accused them of stealing cows.
मेरे को पहले बच्चा था, पहले बच्चा था, 4 बच्चा था हमारा, यही पहले बच्चा। 17 साल हो गया।
In Assamese and broken Hindi, the family shared their grief. They found it hard to believe that the Karwan-e-Mohabbat team, a peace yatra, had travelled all the way from Delhi to meet them.
कानून की लड़ाई में हम लोग भी कोशिश करेंगे कि ठीक से हो, और आप हिम्मत रखें। ये आप अकेले नहीं हैं, बस यही बताना चाह रहे थे कि आपके दुख हम अपना दुख समझते हैं।
हम भी साथ में
आपके।
They said this was the first time anyone had bothered to reach out to them. And what adds to their trauma is the total absence of justice. The 10 accused in this brutal murder are all out on bail.
नौगांव का आदमी आया था, कोई काम नहीं हुआ था। अभी 4 महीने हो गया, आजकल अभी कोई काम का नहीं हुआ।
The murder of Hanif and Riazuddin was documented by the perpetrators of the violence in a video that has now become part of a chilling pattern in communal lynchings.
वीडियो फुटेज है। किसने वीडियो लिया ये? उन लोगों ने लिया।
But the mob captures with glee its own brutality and of those who stand by to watch the murders. It was this silence of a wider society that needed a response, says activist Harsh Mandar, who thought of the Karwan-e-Mohabbat as a journey of peace and solidarity. Its main aim to visit families of those killed in incidents of horrific mob lynchings and other historical incidents of communal violence. Mandar gave an open call for people to join the Karwan, and along the journey the numbers of those who responded grew. We joined the Karwan in Assam, where it began its month-long journey.
There's a growing sense of fear among large sections of India's minorities. See, communal riots used to happen earlier, but communal riots, however bad they were still bound by geography and by time, meaning that a communal riot hit people in a particular location over a certain specified period of time and then ended. But with lynching, the message is that everybody of that community is vulnerable everywhere, in their homes, in work, on the road, in a train. And that sense has settled down in the hearts and souls of our country, brothers and sisters. Gopal Krishna Gandhi actually wrote a very beautiful article recently where he said that there was one partition in the country and now we're having a new partition being built up of the hearts and minds. So the importance of trying to battle this partition of the minds and hearts. But the other part of what motivated the Karwan was also the idea that this 1 month trying to reach out, on the one hand, a voice of solidarity with the minorities who are living with fear and hate, and a call of conscience to the majority community to speak out, to show that they care.
In a small room with a thatched roof in Kutamari, a Muslim neighborhood in Assam's Gwalpara district, Rahima Khatun sat holding on tight to her children. Her in-laws were crying inconsolably as they described the death of their 22-year-old son, Yaqub Ali. Rahima's first husband, Yaqub's elder brother, died in a road accident 2 years ago. Yaqub, a driver, married her in March this year and became stepfather to his nephew and niece. Their life together was short-lived.
उसको जो डी वोटर का समस्या था यहाँ का इलाका का, वो अनाउंस किया था यहाँ में, बोल रहा था बोले इलाका में मुसलमान का जो डी वोटर है बहुत सरकार का तरफ से तोड़फोड़ कर रहा है, इसीलिए वो सोच रहा था बोले मुसलमान का ऊपर में इतना क्यों तोड़फोड़ चला रहा है सरकार, इसीलिए वो धरना देने के लिए गया था। जाते ही पहले लाठीचार्ज करके वो मैदान में गिरा दिया। इसके बाद वो जवान लड़का लोग था, वो लोग सोचा था बोले साला हम लोग यहाँ रहने के बावजूद भी हम लोग का सामने में हम लोग का मुर्गी को मार धुर करके ज़मीन में गिरा दिया। रॉय नाम का एक कांस्टेबल है, उसने एम करके गोली चला दिया वो याकूब को बदन में।
The D-voter issue is a volatile one in Assam. Voters unable to provide documents that establish their citizenship are termed D-voters, a category disenfranchised by the Election Commission. Most of those branded as D-voters have inevitably been Muslims, even when they have been able to prove their citizenship.
ये वो लोग बिना दस में हम लोग को डी-वोटर करता है, बांग्लादेशी बनाता है, हम लोग का कागज पत्र सब कुछ है, लेकिन तब मतलब वो डी-वोटर बनाया है, इसीलिए वो लोग।
As we heard Yaqub's parents, hundreds of others from the village gathered to express their anguish and fear to the Karwan-e-Mohabbat team.
पीछे था वो पूरा याम करके मारा, इसलिए कि वीडियो प्रूफ है इसके पास।
They had all seen the video that clearly shows how an unarmed Yaqub was killed by the police during a peaceful protest.
पूरा देख के सब आदमी को इतना हैरान हो गया, सब गाँव वाला भी परेशान, सब बाहर वाला भी परेशान। लड़का बहुत अच्छा लड़का था, देख के भी हम लोग को बहुत खराब लगा, इतना खराब लगा जो कहना का लायक नहीं है। हम लोग को मुस्लिम आदमी को कुछ बोलने से, उसको बोलने मतलब ज्यादा बोलने से उसको बोलने का मौका नहीं देता, इस चलते डायरेक्ट फायरिंग करता है, जो दोबारा कोई लड़का बोलने का हिम्मत ना हो।
इसने क्या दोष किया था?
One Assam constable was briefly suspended, but Yaqub's family says there has been no other inquiry or update on the case.
हम लोग तो एफआईआर किया था, एफआईआर करने के बाद अभी क्या चल रहा है कुछ पता नहीं चला, इसलिए मेरा विश्वास नहीं हो रहा है असम सरकार ने हम लोग का न्याय दिलाएगा कि नहीं दिलाएगा।
So in every state we're visiting a few families that have been hit by violence. In a sense, seek forgiveness on behalf of all of us for what they have suffered. Try to understand where they are. Also look at their legal cases, whether they've got justice, what help the family needs. But most of all to communicate that there are people who care. And we've taken on instances in each of the states which actually are very little known. So also recognizing that this is actually happening in a wide scale.
Atonement, solidarity and bridging gaps are concepts that drive the Karwan, evident in evening programs like this one.
कुछ लोग मारे जा सकते हैं और कुछ लोगों को मरना जायज है, कुछ लोग डिस्पेंसेबल हैं, उन लोगों की इस देश में कोई जरूरत नहीं है। ये कुछ लोगों का देश है, कुछ लोगों का देश नहीं है।
The Karwan team also hopes to set up better legal help for victims, and Mandar says they want to set up an Insaniyat Council of respected citizens from different faith who will work to keep the place. This is the Karwan's basic template as it goes from state to state. From Assam, the Karwan travelled to Jharkhand, where it met families whose members have also been victims of cow lynchings. From Jharkhand, the Karwan reached Karnataka a day after the assassination of senior journalist Gauri Lankesh. We rejoined the Karwan-e-Mohabbat in Delhi, where it started the second part of its journey, first with a tribute to a man who has inspired the very ideas that underline this movement. A key part on the Delhi itinerary was a visit to Tilak Vihar in West Delhi, where 800 Sikh women whose husbands, sons and brothers were butchered in the Sikh massacre of 1984 were resettled. For the past 33 years, Harjinder Kaur has been unable to speak of her grief. 5 members of her family were killed in November 1984. When the Karwan-e-Mohabbat reached Delhi's Tilak Vihar, she broke her silence with this, a postcard in Hindi which said, "I had seen 1984 with my own eyes." Harjinder was joined by many other women and children from a neighborhood called the Colony of Widows, an epithet which reveals the trauma and tragedy that continues to haunt its residents.
मैं गुस्सा होती मैं कहीं समाचार देखने चाहिए बाहर क्या हो रहा है चांचक कोई ऐसी अटैक हो जाए जैसे हमारे साथ हुआ ऐसे और हो जाए तो क्या करेंगे
ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਦਾ ਕਤਲੇਆਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੇ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਾੜਿਆ
Tilak Vihar was very important as this is one of the oldest place where genocidal violence happened in 1984 and communities after 33 years of struggle are still looking for justice. The collective grief of this place is something which can only be felt if you know what living with injustice means. And so for us it was very important that when we start the second phase of this caravan, there was no better place than Delhi's Tilak Vihar.
In Shamli district in western Uttar Pradesh, the Karwan stayed a night here at our international school, which has a madrasa on its ground floor and above it an English medium school. It was started by Our India Foundation, an NGO from Kerala that works with families displaced by the Muzaffarnagar riots of 2013. We met 10-year-old Nosheen, one among the 40 students who have lost their families and homes in the Muzaffarnagar riots.
आप लोग अभी कहाँ रहते हैं?
कांदले में हमारे घर पे आग लग गई थी फिर हम आ गए थे एक दिन पहले फिर क्या नाम लेकर अब्बू अम्मी भी आ गए थे फिर क्या नाम लेकर लोग लगा के हम सब आ गए थे यहाँ पे नानी के यहाँ पे फिर हमारे घर पे आग लगा दी थी हमारी अम्मी का सारा सामान जल गया था
Several families arrived from across this region to visit the Karwan team. They spoke of a rise in violent incidents against Muslims and the harassment under the new BJP government.
हमारे भाई पे आज तक कोई एक धारा नहीं, कोई किसी चीज की भी एप्लीकेशन नहीं है थाने की, किसी गांव की भी कोई रिकॉर्ड नहीं है कि इसको चोरी की. मेरे भाई को उस लूट में लपेटा गया और वो मर्डर हमारे भाई पर टेका गया, यानी कि उसको छोड़ दिया जिला.
Insar and his friend Nafis were shot and arrested by the UP police on 30th June 2017. Insar's brother says they were victims of a false encounter of the type that has become common in the past 6 months.
पे फोन आया कि भाई इंसार तो यहाँ पे आ जा, बुराड़ा वाला चौराहा पड़ता है जी हमारे पास. तो वो जैसे वहाँ पर गया, वहाँ पे एक एल्टो गाड़ी थी, तो पीछे से एक बाइक आई, उस पे 2 पुलिस वाले थे. उन्होंने उसको पकड़कर उस एल्टो गाड़ी में बिठा लिया और उसको वहाँ से लेकर गाड़ी वाले चौराहे पर ले गए. पुलिस चौकी है वहाँ पे, तो वहाँ से सीधा उनको सकुत्ती के जंगल, बडोली के पास पड़ता है सकुत्ती जंगल, ऋषिपाल के खेत में खाल पे वहाँ पे बता के भागो, क्यों में भागे. उन्होंने जवाब दिया हम भागते नहीं. तो उनको खाल में लिटाया गया और कपड़ा बांध कर उनके दोनों पैरों की हड्डियों में गोली मारी और दोनों यहाँ पे मारी गोली और एक की बाह में. 2 लड़कों की गोली मारी, नफीस के भी इसी तरह सेम गोली लगी हुई है और इंसार को भी. तो उनसे कहा गया कि मर्डर कबूल करो. बोले जी कौन सा मर्डर, हमने क्या पता मर्डर कौन सा. तो दूसरी गोली मारी, बोले मर्डर जो यहाँ आया था बडोली में, रात में लूट हुई थी मोटरसाइकिल के साथ. तो बोले जी हमने पता नहीं. तीसरी गोली मारी जब उन्होंने क्या कि हाँ जी हमने क्या. उन्होंने
The police were quick to claim glory, portraying Nafis and Insar as dangerous criminals they had caught. Basic questions that should be asked at any police encounter were left to the family, who want to know how the police managed to shoot 2 fleeing men with such accuracy, hitting them on their knees and ankles as they ran in the cover of darkness in a thick sugarcane field.
इसी बात को समझ पा रहे हैं कि ऐसे कैसा हुआ कि अगर मुठभेड़ में गोली मारी जाए, क्या अड्डी पाती है गोली मारने के लिए।
19-year-old Ansar and 18-year-old Nafis have been in jail for the past 3 months. The families are too poor to engage a lawyer who can prove their innocence.
हमारे भाई बेकसूर है, हम तो चाहे कि हमारा भाई घर पे आ जाए।
नया गवर्नमेंट बनाने के बाद ही इनकाउंटर्स की जो प्रथा और इस काउंटर का जो कल्चर शुरू हुआ है, वो मैं जैसे कह रहा था कि क्राइम कंट्रोल करने के नाम पे एक कम्युनिटी को टारगेट करना एक इसमें देखा जा रहा है।
The absence of legal support would be a common feature in the testimonies we would hear right through our journey. In Kurgaon village, also in Shamli district, a Muslim Gujar family narrated how their eldest son, Muhammad Salim, was killed by a mob way back in 2013. He was employed in the cattle trade between UP and Haryana. But the family now is too scared to even mention this profession.
फिर उधर से इसमें कार्रवाई हुई हरियाणा से, उन्हें फिर वो लगाई उसकी कबर पटने की। 6 दिन बाद फिर वहाँ से फोर्स आई। 6 दिन बाद ऐसे नहीं मिला उससे, अब भाई हमारा बच्चा हमारा रखा था, ऐसे पिट्टा, ऐसे 8-10 बंदों ने मारा है और हमें कुछ वो नहीं है। तो जो भी सरकार थी उधर की, उससे कोई वहाँ जब पोस्टमार्टम की रिपोर्ट भी नहीं मिली हमने, वो भी वहीं ले गए हरियाणा वाले। कि जो कब्र दोबारा पटी और उसके बाद फिर कुछ नहीं हुआ। एक मुस्लिम उसमें ये है, कब्र पटना दोबारा अच्छा नहीं लगता।
It was sheer agony for the family to see their son's body exhumed for a post-mortem. What's worse, they still haven't been given a copy of it. In his dying declaration, Salim said he had been attacked by a group of 9 people, but the police have not filed murder charges. Lawyers travelling with the Karwan assured Salim's family they would help.
चलिए, वो वादा है भैया, हम आएंगे, वो रिपोर्ट निकलवाएंगे और आपको आगे क्या कार्रवाई करनी है वो बात करेंगे, ये वादा है, ठीक है?
By now, the Karwan team had grown, with more and more people hopping on to the Karwan bus. Concerned citizens, activists, artists, writers, journalists. Many in the group felt this entirely crowd-funded journey gave them the chance to fight their own helplessness at the rising climate of communal hate that had engulfed the country.
मेरा नाम एंटनी प्रभु, मैं चेन्नई से आ रहा हूँ।
मेरा नाम सुरूर है, मैं दिल्ली में वकील हूँ।
मैं अशरफुल हुसैन हूँ, मैं आसाम से हूँ। पहला दिन से इस करवा के साथ जुड़े हूँ।
मेरा नाम सत्यवीर है और आने वाली पीढ़ी को मैसेज दे सकें कि इस खराब वातावरण में, इस खौफनाक माहौल में हम लोग उस कारवां में थे जो इन सब से लड़ रहा था, इसलिए मैं जुड़ा।
हम ऐसे बहुत से लोगों को लगा कि सही जो नैरेटिव है वो बाहर लाना जरूरी है।
Mewat, Haryana has a special place in India's independence history. In 1947, at the time of partition, Mahatma Gandhi came here to Khasera Gaon to convince the Meo Muslim community of this region to stay in India.
Partition took place. There was tension all around, and they had heard stories of Muslims massacred in Delhi and Kanpur and elsewhere. So they all wanted to go en bloc to the new land of hope, Pakistan. Gandhi came here to persuade them to stay back, to maintain secular India. And for our Karwan, we've chosen this because it's proper that we halt at a place which was chosen by the Mahatma himself to see that India is seen as a secular country.
At the Karwan event in Khasera, speakers and local folk singers proudly recall that moment in history when their ancestors chose India. There was pride in their past, in the way they had overcome the communal animosity of partition. But 70 years later, the newer songs of the Mirasis spoke of a return of communal hatred and the pain it has inflicted. Junaid was the young 15-year-old who was stabbed to death on a Delhi-Mathura train in June this year. He was returning home from Eid when a passenger suspected him of carrying beef. Within seconds, his fellow passengers turned into murderers. An entire compartment watched this gruesome killing.
बहुत ज़्यादा हमें रिंज हो रहा है कि इस जगह सब लड़के इकट्ठे हैं और भी हैं, मेरे भी हैं, लेकिन आज मेरा बेटा भी होता यहाँ पर.
Junaid's mother Saira said she hoped one day she could open a girls' school in Junaid's name where students could learn English, Hindi and Urdu. The school would be for children of all religions. But first she said she wanted justice.
सबने बोला है हम आपके साथ हैं, हम आपके साथ हैं. मदद एक अलग बात है और इंसाफ एक अलग है और मांग एक अलग है. मांग एक अलग है. तो इतना मेरा बोलना पे कि मैं सरकार से इंसाफ चाहती हूँ. मैं सरकार से इंसाफ चाहती हूँ.
As we travelled with the Karwan-e-Mohabbat across the villages of Haryana, in just one day we met 11 Muslim families.
इसके बारे में सर थोड़ी सी जब जानकारी ली तो पता चला कि जैसे ये गाड़ी में थे दो लड़के, एक लड़का इनके साथ सिंगार का था, तो कोसी बॉर्डर पे जो वहाँ पे पहुँचने के बाद तुरंत पता नहीं किसकी इन्फॉर्मेशन थी, तो पुलिस ने एक साथ लगातार फायरिंग की इनके ऊपर.
नहीं, सीआईओ का जो इंस्पेक्टर था जिसके नीचे थे जिन्होंने गोली मारी है.
Each had lost a family member either in a cow-linked lynching or in an encounter.
ये जो एनकाउंटर हुआ है, कोई जो पुलिस वाले मुठभेड़ दिखा रहे हैं, मुठभेड़ थी नहीं. गाड़ी में बराबर से ड्राइवर साइड से गोली लगती है, ऐसे गाड़ी खड़ी है ऐसे गोली लगती है. मुठभेड़ तो आमे सामने से होती है, बराबर से थोड़ी होती, बराबर में गोली लगी, इधर लगी. मुठभेड़ भी है तो ये कोई क्रिमिनल नहीं थे, कोई इनका बैकग्राउंड कोई गलत नहीं था, कोई केस नहीं था इनके पास. बच्चे थे, सब्जी की गाड़ी थी.
In each case, the same nauseatingly familiar pattern we have become accustomed to, where the victims are always Muslims, in a few cases Dalits, where no family has been able to get justice, and in many cases it's the victims who are fighting cases slapped against them.
कोई कानूनी कार्रवाई ना है, मुसलमान की कोई सुनाई ना है.
दूसरे को लापता दिखा दिया, वो 5 दिन बाद में मिलता है, और जहाँ वो एनकाउंटर हुआ उससे महज 1 किला हटके था वो.
हमने कुछ पता नहीं है, ना कोई मट्टी मिली हमको, ना कुछ मिली हमको.
डेड बॉडी नहीं.
अगर मुसलमान के मतलब जो है गाय के पीछे गोली मारी जाए तो जब मारी जाए, जबकि मुसलमान को गाय रखने का हक ही नहीं.
ये दूध वाले गौ ना हूँ, इनमें 2, 4, 5 गाय नलावे आगे बेच दे में हम आपस में गाँव में बेच दे में. अब जिस दिन से हमारा लड़का मरा है, हमने उस दिन से बिल्कुल छोड़ दिया, ये काम छोड़ दिया.
In Husainpur village, while we were listening to Amin Khan, whose son had been killed while transporting cattle, another villager, a truck driver, interrupted us. He wanted to show us how these lynchings are orchestrated and recorded, and gave us a chilling demo of how it works.
आप तो काम करके निकल जाते फिर आम पब्लिक के पास में दिखा देते हैं इसको. मोनू मानेसर.
It's an indication of how widespread the violence is. We felt it necessary to mask his identity for his safety.
यह आ रहा है मोनू मानेसर बजरंग दल, एक गाड़ी गो मांस पकड़ा. आज दिनांक 19 मई 17 को तावड़ू पच गांव में हमारी बजरंग दल गो टास्क नू मोनू मानेसर बजरंग दल लव जिहाद की पड़ताल.
कम से कम 100-150 फाइल है इनकी, एक तो नहीं. ये तो ऐसा करते हैं, पब्लिक जैसे पूरी भीड़ होगी उसमें आप कर देते हैं काम, करके काम झट निकल जाते, वीडियो बना के झट छोड़ देते हैं व्हाट्सएप पे.
लोगों को मारते हैं.
हाँ, मार तो 10-20 वीडियो इनकी इसी तरह की. फिर ये बोलते हैं हम इस तरह की हम ट्रेनिंग देंगे, कोई हमारे पास आओ, किस तरह के मारना है आदमी.
The brutality, it seems, has no bounds. In Pemakhada village of Haryana, we met a Dalit Jamar family who lost his son in a similar attack by a mob. Sher Singh and his Muslim family Tawfiq had gone to do Eid shopping in Delhi. They were returning in a mini truck when it was attacked by a mob. Sher Singh along with 3 others were killed Tawfiq survived.
आगे से आई थे, डंपर ने टक्कर मारी थी उसमें।
अच्छा।
डंपर ने, बड़ी गाड़ी नहीं रहता, ट्रक पत्थर ढोता, उसने टक्कर मारी। उसमें से गिर गए हम नीचे, फिर हम खून पहुंचे भी हाथ तो हुए हो, मेरे सिर में दी ही, फिर वो कुछ पता नहीं रही।
आपकी टांग
कुछ इधर ने काट दी थी, गाड़ी घेर रखी थी, 2 रोड पर लगा रखी, चारों जान से मार दिया उन्होंने। तो आप जान कर मैं बचा दी ऊपर वाले की दुआ से।
As each family spoke of their pain and their pleas for justice, it was clear that we had only just begun to understand the sheer scale of this violence. Many of these incidents haven't been fully reported, and those that have are languishing. The next part in the Karwan journey would take it to Rajasthan, where one stop would involve a brief halt at Behror, midway between Delhi and Jaipur. Behror has been in the headlines for the gruesome murder of Pehlu Khan in April 2017 in a cow lynching incident that was reported across the world. A video captures the brutal thrashing and the complicity of those who watched. The Karwan had decided to place flowers at the site of this lynching in Pehlu Khan's memory and the memory of others like him.
We are going in the morning to place flowers at the spot where he was lynched as we had planned.
A day before the Karwan was to reach Behror, the trouble began. With an immense sense of entitlement and power, Hindutva groups first asked the collector to stop the Karwan. Then they threatened the organizers who were to provide the venue at Behror, forcing them to pull out.
बजरंग दल और विश्व हिंदू परिषद के लोगों ने जब हमने ये खबर छापी तो उनकी तरफ से एक दूसरी खबर साथ में छपी कि हम इस कार्यक्रम को होप सर्कस पे नहीं होने देंगे। फिर अगले दिन उन्होंने कहा कि हम अलवर में नहीं घुसने देंगे। पहले हम लोगों ने सोचा था कि वो यहाँ पर मीटिंग होगी और एक मदरसा है यहाँ पर पास में, वहाँ पर वो रुकेंगे। फिर मदरसे के लोगों को भी नोटिस दिया गया कि आपके यहाँ यदि वो रुकते हैं तो आपने परमिशन ली है कि नहीं ली है। आज मुझे भी SHO NEB है, उन्होंने एक नोटिस दिया। उन्होंने बोला कि यात्रा आ रही है और यदि ये लोग वहाँ रुकते हैं दाऊदपुर मदरसे में तो हम आपके खिलाफ एक्शन लेंगे।
The state government first tried to negotiate with the Karwan members to skip Behror, but the legal and constitutional right to peacefully pay a tribute could not be denied. Ironically, this was unfolding on a day when the 6 accused, named by Pehlu Khan in his dying declaration as the murderers, had been let off, the cases against them closed. A determined Karwan team entered Rajasthan. For the first time in its journey so far, it was given a full police escort. A state that prides itself on its hospitality uses adages like Padharo Mare Desh, now overrun with groups who were threatening to welcome the Karwan with sticks and stones. The administration once again tried to dissuade the Karwan from performing its Shraddhanjali at the murder spot. The police warned the mob could get violent, but didn't take action against them.
And as far as placing flowers at the site of the violence where he was lynched, it will give solace to the family, and it is something that the administration has not permitted so far. If the administration did not want them to gather, it would have made sure they would not gather. The officers say they have a democratic right. Okay, if they have a democratic right to violently protest, then I have the democratic right to go and express peacefully my solidarity.
And finally, with 2 fistfuls of marigold flowers and surrounded by a few police persons, Harsh Mandar walked to the spot where Pehlu Khan had been attacked and placed those flowers in his memory.
Pehlu Khan ko nyay do! Nyay do! Nyay do! Pehlu Khan ko nyay do! Nyay do! Nyay do! Hum sab ek hain! Hum sab ek hain! Wahab se Karwan zindabad! 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 Ek patthar aaya. Sabke group wale log.
The moment was dramatic, absurd and tragic. That an innocuous bus on a peace yatra should meet with such violence and disruption is an indication of the precarious point we're at.
This is where when a group of gundas, 20 or 30 or 50 in number, manage to get away by bullying and saying that they are going to bully, you can be assured that the law and order machinery has completely failed. You can be assured that the political leadership is giving some backing. That's how they have the guts to go against every constitutional value.
We accompanied the Karwan till Rajasthan. It then journeyed on to Gujarat, where on October 2nd it ended its journey at the birthplace of the Mahatma. In the course of its 1-month-long yatra, Harsh Mandar and his team visited 50 families of victims. Listening to their stories, it was hard not to think of a country that slipped into a dark abyss. But the idea behind the Karwan was to fight just this, both despair and apathy. And so we choose to leave you with the images of the Karwan as it entered the town of Ajmer in Rajasthan. Rajasthan saw the worst response to the team, but saw its redemption. Hundreds of people lined the streets in Ajmer to welcome the Karwan-e-Mohabbat. Flowers were showered on us from temples, gurudwaras, and the famous dargah of Garib Nawaz.
कानून को जो तोड़े वो क्या देश बनाएंगे, चाहे जो भी कर लो हम तो बढ़ते जाएंगे। जिंदाबाद जिंदाबाद जिंदाबाद।